on the way. I see earthquakes and lightning. I see bad times today. Don't go out tonight, 'cause it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Greetings, Midcoast Ukers. Jeff Weinberger coming at you here with a new ukulele tutorial. This is a song that we've done way back. We traditionally do it around Halloween. It happens to be Halloween today, October 31st, 2020. And Bad Moon Rising was by Creedence Clearwater Revival back in the late 60s. It's an easy song. It has only 3 chords in it. Has a fairly simple strum, so this won't be a very long video, but I just wanted to introduce you to the song in case you didn't know how to play it, or if you do know the song but just don't have a lot of experience with it, we can get into some of the finer details here. I'm not going to do the whole song. I just want to quickly run through one verse and chorus. The chords that we're doing happen to be in the key of G. Our song sheet that you can download right from the website, midcoastukes.org, is in the key of G, and that's what I was attempting to sing it in. That works pretty good. Creedence Clearwater performed it in D, just so you know. And then I also want to quickly at the end show it to you in C, just in case the key of G doesn't work out for your particular voice or your chords. But let's learn it first in G as it appears on the song sheet. So the first chord we need to deal with is a G chord. The second chord we need is a D chord. And of course there's many different ways to finger a D chord. My custom fingering is using my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers all on the 2nd fret. But some of you probably learned it from a book or from a website or lessons, and you do it 1, 2, 3. 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger. That's perfectly acceptable too. Another alternative way is to do 2, 1, 3. You can mix your fingers up like that. People with particularly long fingers, that's a good alternative to get all those fingers crammed into the same fret. And then there's all the multitude of other ways that I'll just let the internet take care of that. You can get on the internet and hop on there and do a Google search for ukulele D chord, and you'll come up with all kinds of different opinions about different combinations of fingers you can use. That's not what we're here to do today. We're here to learn this song. Alright, so we have a G chord, we have a D chord, and we have a C chord. No further introduction necessary for the C chord. I trust you all know that one. So then what we have to do is figure out how to strum it. What kind of rhythm is going to be good for this? Well, this song kind of has this built-in rhythm. The drum beat is really straight. It's an extremely simple, minimalistic part that just goes boom bap, boom bap, boom bap, boom bap. So that's laying down something so simple that on top of that, we don't want to get too terribly complicated, but we can embellish that a little bit. So we don't have to do that with our strumming. We don't have to go boom bap, boom bap. Although you could. Let's try it. Let's actually do G for a measure, D for 2 beats, and C for 2 beats. 4 beats on G, 2 beats on D, 2 beats on C. Let's see what would happen if we did just a down, down strum. Nothing but down strums. That's okay. That's not too terribly bad. It's really boring and, you know, kind of doesn't rock very much, but it's got the right stuff in it. It would get you through. But how do we make this a little more interesting? Well, obviously, you're probably saying to yourself, well, you just add some up strums. And this is true. Up strums are definitely going to help. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit of a swing feel in there, too. So instead of going like... a little stiff, you know, it really doesn't swing at all. But if you add some up strums and you add a little bit of swing, you get... So let's look at what I'm doing there. I'm actually taking what I'm hearing on the record, the guitars on the record mostly, and emulating them on the ukulele. So let's look into what makes that strum so cool. First of all, on the G chord, I'm really emphasizing 2 strums to start with. I have these 2, you know, well-defined hits. How did I do that first hit? I actually made my G chord a little short. I went, and then I stopped it from ringing by lifting my left-hand fingers, the pressure off of those notes. I'm not taking my fingers off of the strings. I'm just not pressing down as hard. I press, and I release, and then that makes for silence. So first strum is short, and then the second strum I let that ring. Then I do a quick down up. Here it is in slow motion. You can also do an up down if that works for you. Matter of fact, I just changed my mind. I do think an up down is better there. Less awkward. So yeah, short strum down, a strum down that you hold, and then a quick up down. Again in slow motion. So it's kind of like short, long, up, down, short, long, up, down. Right off the bat, that's 10 billion times more interesting than just doing down, 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 down. It has quite a bit of variety in it, and it kind of sounds like rock and roll when you do it that way. Alright, and let's see what we're going to do on the D and C chords. Well, you can hear the guitars do a particular strum on those, and what I like to do is just like hitting my closest strings on a down, and then hitting my furthest away strings on a down on the D chord, and then kind of do about the same thing on the C chord. Close strings down, further away strings down. So put all that together and you get so far so good. That sounds a lot like Creedence Clearwater. And then I do this certain thing on my G chord, a boogie rhythm. Some people call it Stu Ukes, and people like that call it a boogie rhythm. What I do, and this is very similar to what I do on They Call Me the Breeze, I take my G chord and I keep it held down. I just don't change my G chord at all, but what I'm doing is adding my pinky to it. While the G chord stays stationary there, my pinky comes up to the C string 4th fret and grabs this note. And that changes it. It kind of changes your G chord into an E minor chord temporarily, or a G6 chord if you prefer. But some chords have more than one name. So this, I'm thinking of it as a G6. But G without the pinky, G with the pinky. That is a really nice trick to make your G chord have some motion, a little bit of movement to it. So that's what all those guys, Stu Ukes and Lil Rev and Gerald Ross and all the great workshop teachers we've had at our festival, that's what they're trying to get across. That when you have a chord and you want it not to be static and boring, but you want it to move and have some interest and some forward momentum, this kind of trick is really nice. To have your pinky up, put your pinky down, have your pinky up, put your pinky down. That adds some nice movement to the chord. That's a lot like how Chuck Berry played the guitar back in the late 50s, early 60s. A lot of his songs had that sort of thing going on in them. So that's kind of a hallmark of rock and roll, that little boogie rhythm there. So if we add that to our G chord at the end, we're going to get this. We're going to do everything we did before. But now, so I'm going to break that down for you. I do my G chord normal, and I do the closest strings, and then I do the further away strings, and then I do a down up. That's when my pinky comes down after that down up. So close, far, down, up, and then your pinky comes down. That's a lot to remember, but again, close, far, down, up, and then the pinky down. So that's the first half. Then what we do is we just do 2 strums, a down up with the pinky off, and 2 strums with the pinky down, like this. Sorry, no, it's 2 strums with the pinky off, 1 one strum down with the pinky down, and then a quick up strum with the pinky off. So you actually do take your pinky off at the end there. So the pinky is off, on, off. This is a great rhythm for lots of other music too. California Girls by the Beach Boys would be one that would use a rhythm like that. And anything, like I said, by Chuck Berry. But two without the pinky, one with the pinky, one without the pinky. And then you just repeat that. Happy Trails to You. That song uses a kind of similar little rhythm like that. So this is a very important thing for you to learn how to do, to take a G chord and add your pinky to the C string 4th fret with whatever rhythm you do. But if you happen to do this rhythm, you'll get the Bad Moon Rising thing going. So here it is all together. Any amount of extra up strums you want to throw in there, or chucks, or any little spices you want to throw in there to make it more interesting, that's fine. But what I'm showing you is basically the bare bones minimum that it would take to sound like Creedence Clearwater. Alright, so the song proceeds after the intro of G, D, C, and then 2 measures of G. Then we just have the verse, which is G, D, C, stay on G. C, stay on G. G, D, C, G. One last time. G, D, C, G. And now the chorus, which is C. Don't go out. Now G. Don't take your life. And then D, C, G. Chord-wise, it is very easy. If you didn't want to do all that boogie stuff, and you didn't want to do the actual Creedence strum, you could get away with just doing something simple. For you, those of you that, you don't want to do all the fine details, and that's a little bit too much, I think down, 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 up would be a really good, easy, basic strum to do. Or even just down, 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 up, down would be very simple and clean. But then on the D and C, try to do down, 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 down. That would be more appropriate. So down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 down. That'd be a nice basic way to play this song. We'll do that a couple times. Let's go around the chord progression twice with our basic strum. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that slowly together twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would get you through if you had an aversion to doing that pinky stuff, or if you didn't want to do too many downs and ups and get all complicated. That would be a nice strum. That would be perfectly respectable. Alright, Midcoast Ukers, I hope you enjoyed that quick tutorial on this song. I know that we didn't get to play the whole song together in this. I just wanted to give you the basics, and then when we reconvene for our next jam, we'll give it a whirl and see how everybody did as far as learning this. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to email me if you want further explanation or more detail or clarification. Song sheets up on the website. We'll learn this song also in some other keys, maybe not in this particular video, but I would like to eventually learn it in C, and maybe in the original key of D like Creedence does it. Wouldn't hurt us to know songs in multiple keys. That would be a great way to improve our musicianship and our skills as a group. Alright, Midcoast Ukers, you take care. I will catch you later. Happy Halloween. Bye-bye.